Hello and welcome to another edition of Foreign Dispatches, the program that takes you around the world in 25 minutes. I'm Amarachi Ubani. On the program this week, thousands flee wildfires in Greece as heatwave continues. Plus, Israeli parliament passes law to limit judicial power despite months of protests. Tens of thousands of people have been forced to leave their homes and abandon holidays on Greek islands, including roads and curfew, as fire spreads across the region. It's Greece's largest ever wildfire evacuation, and as a heat wave continues, officials have warned there is a high risk of future fires in almost every region of the country.
Paradise on fire. Forests on the Greek island Getaway of Rhodes blazed through the night on Monday, leaving the sky glowing orange. Footage shows wildfires razing acres of land in a disaster that has forced the evacuation of tens of thousands of tourists and locals. The airport in the region was left crammed with people as they waited for news of rescue. Rhodes is a hugely popular holiday destination, particularly with visitors from Britain. Tourists here narrate their experiences.
Hell on earth. Never thought I'd be caught up in something like that. There's someone's going to end up dying out there, seriously. There are thousands of people that are still out there. There's young kids, there's elderly people. The island's on fire. They've got nowhere to go. There's no food, no water, and they've just basically been abandoned on, we've just come from the floor of a school. The only reason we got out is because my wife had an asthma attack, and I was like, yeah, you need to go. It's just horrible, yeah.
Oh yeah, you could see the fire. Yeah, it was horrible. But obviously, everyone was taking the tops off, using it as face coverings. It's hard to explain, when you're in that kind of emergency and you've got your children with you. It's full panic. So I just said to the kids, get away from anything flammable, any decking, anything, and just get on the rocks and stay near the water. And that's all you could do, really.
Heard of the news that we might possibly need to evacuate after the smoke had been travelling over our pool for quite some time at the Princess Sun Hotel. And it was just getting worse and worse, and we started to hear the helicopters, and then basically you could see the fire eventually on the mountaintop. Panic, everyone dashing about, fleeing for buses, and luckily we were able to get a bus. We've got elderly parents and a child. The hotel was literally crowded full of people. As soon as they said there's buses to the airport, we were right, that's it, and it was chaos, absolutely. The surges towards the 2 or 3 buses that arrived, and everyone screaming and shouting and crying because people couldn't even get on their flights yesterday and were desperate to get home.
And we could see smoke, and then basically the smoke seemed to be getting worse, and we came back from the beach yesterday. We went down in the morning, and luckily we came back. When we got back, we were in the pool, and about 3 o'clock in the afternoon we could see flames coming over the top of the forest in Rhodes, and then a police car turned up, sirens going, the police jumped out, and they basically shouted at the hotel owner to get everybody out, get everybody evacuated.
It is horrendous. I've never been so scared my entire life. I mean, especially when we went running down to the beach. One of the locals who was there had basically told us that we needed to get away from the corner of the situation of obviously where we are in Pefkos, and she told us that we were all going to be doomed. So that put fear into me, and then obviously into my daughter as well. She's 15, so she was scared. So yeah, it has been a terrifying experience. I'm not going to lie. It's just nice. Obviously, we are safe here now at the moment.
Evacuees also describe walking for miles in scorching heat to reach safety, with footage from the weekend showing scores of people walking across beaches. Many spent the night on the airport floor waiting for repatriation flights, mainly back to Britain, Germany and Italy.
Yeah, we had to sleep outside. Yeah, because there's no space. There were so many people arriving. There's no space within other hotels to sleep. There's just nothing. There's nothing. You had to be on the floor, and if you couldn't find anything to lie on, then it was what it was.
It was really bad. We got out on Saturday night, and it was carnage at the airport. And then we got put in a evacuation centre in Rhodes Island, and then no real kind of idea what was going on.
In particular, we stayed in a Fandu, but we had a lot of sort of people from different hotels come and be put into our hotel basically. So one night we had about 4 or 5 different families. I think we got to a point where I think we had 8 individuals in one room with a double bed and a single bed. But yeah, I think when we left today, when we looked from a Fandu, which is a bit further north, we could see the smoke. So I think the wind started to change a little bit and go further north from what we can gather. But apart from that, we were fine, and we was on a scheduled flight and left where we needed to today, really.
Well, close up, it looked like hell on earth, to be honest. And, there's a lot of fire. But I just hope everybody's okay.
Greece has said the operation to get people to safety was the biggest of its kind in emergency conditions. Meanwhile, fearing for their homes in the face of the flames, locals called for international help on Monday.
Yeah, we evacuated the village. Now some houses are on fire, and we came down here. We don't know what to do. That's the situation. Now the fire is going from the other village, Genadi, to Vati, and it's on fire 5 days now, and they have no control of the fire. We need help, so anybody from outside hearing, send help us. Our houses maybe not be there tomorrow, maybe an hour, are on fire. We don't know what to do.
I'm from here, from Rhodes. We are here the last 6 days to help in every way we can, but it's very difficult. The wind is very high today. It will be worse Wednesday. It's very, very bad, the situation. We need help. Send us help from everywhere.
We don't have any help in the island. You see all the people that are living here, they come to help. I'm not from this village, but I have friends here. So I came to help each other. We bring waters and food for the people that are working, that didn't sleep 5 days now. It's really bad for the island, it's really bad. This is a disaster. I was born here, I'm living here 50 years. 2008 it was a big fire, but not like this. This destroyed all the islands, burned all the island. It doesn't stop. This is the bad thing, it doesn't stop. There is no end in this tragedy. There's no end. This is not when it's going to stop. Where's the help?
All. We lost everything. Our fields, our homes, all. I don't know. The situation have changed. Every year they say we will do. The things will be better. Nothing. Every summer the same. Every summer.
Fires are common in Greece, but climate change has led to more extreme heat waves across southern Europe and many parts of the world. Temperatures over the past week have exceeded 40 degrees Celsius in many parts of Greece. Officials say there is a high risk of future fires in almost every region of the country.
The situation in Greece is a result of a heat wave across southern Europe and northern Africa that has helped create dry conditions and also let fires take hold in Italy, Croatia, Algeria, and Tunisia. Italy, however, is experiencing a number of issues beyond the fires. While the heat wave is causing wildfires in the south, parts of the country's north have faced major storms leading to the death of at least 2 people.
Firefighters in Sicily spent the night battling wildfires, one of which approached so close to Palermo Airport that it shut down for several hours on Tuesday. This video shows fire burning near a highway as people fled. In some parts of the region, temperatures rose to 47.6 degrees Celsius on Monday, close to a record European high of 48.8 degrees Celsius recorded on the island 2 years ago. But even as the heatwave persisted in northern Italy, an overnight storm in Milan tore off roofs and uprooted trees, blocking roads and disrupting overground transportation in the financial capital.
I woke up at about 4 a.m. to some loud noises. At first, I thought it was a simple thunderstorm. I looked outside and the sky was all grey. It was an apocalyptic scene. When the rain stopped, my mother, myself, and other residents came downstairs and saw the destruction in front of us, with trees completely uprooted and broken.
Un po' in bianco, ho visto questa ora, mi sono spaventata tanto.
I saw the destruction and I was very scared. In the street where I live, there are smashed cars, broken windows, as well as falling pots on the ground. We saw these trees falling at 4 a.m. They are old trees. I have lived in this area for 25 years. We had protected these trees so they wouldn't cut them down.
2 women were killed on Monday and Tuesday after being crushed by falling trees. Italy, one of the countries in Europe most affected by climate change, has grappled with varying extreme weather in recent years. In May, the country suffered deadly floods, leaving 13 people dead and displacing thousands.
We head over to South Africa to meet 38-year-old firefighter Jane Kanye. She's part of a team of firefighters deployed to Canada amid a record-breaking year of wildfires in the country, with crews coming from all over the world to help out.
As Canadian firefighters relentlessly battle nearly 900 wildfires across the country, authorities requested international assistance to battle the blazes. Among those answering the call from Bloemfontein in South Africa was 38-year-old firefighter Jane Kanye.
I was very excited because now I had to go abroad to share my knowledge and to also gain the experience from abroad. So I was very much excited when I heard that there was an opening to go to Canada.
After undergoing a physical and additional training, the 13-year fire service veteran boarded the plane on June the 14th with a team of 200 fellow firefighters for almost 19-hour plane ride for Alberta. There, our Canadian counterparts trained them on local firefighting methods, which vary from those in South Africa, where fires are more likely to be in grass rather than forest. Kanye explains that her family were scared for her.
They were scared because they saw the fires on the news. So they were not sure if I should go there, but I am the one who convinced them that I'm going to save life that side. So they were concerned because they could see the flames are not like in South Africa. And it's the plantation that is burning. In South Africa, we are used to field and forest firefighting, grass that is burning. So those flames were the ones that were getting them scared for me to go abroad. So I told them that we do follow safety. We do have our safety procedures that we are following. We are having a required PPC that we will wear to go on the fire line. I also told them that there's someone that there's IC on the site who is checking the weather, who is checking if the fire is spreading very rapidly. Then they will tell us to just withdraw on the line, so they need not to worry. There's communication on the line.
As crew leader, she headed a team of 20 firefighters who worked 14-hour shifts, primarily digging holes and pouring water to contain the forest fires, before returning to South Africa on June the 20th.
I would say it was a great experience because even the Canadians welcomed us with their open heart. They will teach us on the fire line to say, this is how you are doing it. We are not working like this, rather work like this so that you don't trip and fall. And then They also gave us breaks in between because they could understand that we are not used to walk in the forest and to pass through the water. So they were giving us breaks in between. Then after a week, they did not work with us. They have taught us, crew leaders, how to use the Avanza map. We downloaded the Avanza, then we were working on our own with our STLs.
Thus far, this wildfire season, South Africa has sent 3 teams of firefighters to Canada, a quarter of whom are women. With about 20 million acres already burned across the country, Canada is on track for its worst wildfire season on record.
Thanks for staying with us on the program. Despite months of protests, Israel's government has passed a controversial law that will limit the power of the Supreme Court. The bill passed by a vote of 64-0, with all members of the governing coalition voting for it. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's judicial overhaul plan has sparked some of the biggest demonstrations in Israel's history, with opponents protesting against the proposals for 29 consecutive weeks.
Mass protests erupted with renewed steam in Israel on Monday after lawmakers pushed through a controversial bill overhauling the country's judiciary. Demonstrators blocking Jerusalem's main highway faced a water cannon and had to be dragged away by officers.
I'm so sad. I'm here for 3 days protesting and do everything I can. I sleep in a tent and my heart is broken. I really feel that, I don't know, I feel my future is lost. I feel my kids' future is lost. I feel like I don't have any hope, any optimistic in my body at the moment, and I really hope that we can go out of it soon because it's heartbreaking. You know, my grandmother, she came here from the Holocaust, from Hungary. She really believed in this country, and to look at what happened here, I'm shaking. All my body is shaking, you know? I'm really sad.
It's a sad day to the Israeli democracy. The law will enable this government to pass any law that they would like to appoint any person to a position, regardless of their skills or background. And we're going to fight back.
The law passed, it's obvious that it's a different country. We see like 2 parties which totally different attitudes, and up for good. I don't know what to say. It's all corrupted, it's all criminals. The government is not for the benefit of the whole country, only for one party, and it doesn't look good for the future.
Inside Parliament, opposition lawmakers, many of whom had held out hope of a compromise, chanted shame, and some tore up documents after realizing the vote would proceed. It's a political victory for Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's party, but one that has provoked a political crisis and sparked the largest mass anti-government protest in the country's recent history. While coalition members inside Parliament celebrated with selfies, the divisiveness was on full display. Critics of the plan say it undercuts the Supreme Court's independence as a check on executive power and hurts the country's democratic institution.
We're here to protect our democracy. We were left with no choice but to go to disobedience, non-violent disobedience. We're here to protect our democracy with our bodies.
We came to protest against the changing of the administration in Israel. We fear we've gone down to a dictatorship, and we want to show in a way of performance how it would look. That's why we put ourselves judges' costumes, and we cuffed ourselves. And we also went with a robe around us that was led by Bibi. And that means to say that Bibi wants to take all the judges under his authority to get free of charge.
As night fell, demonstrators blocking traffic in Tel Aviv braved more water cannons and police on horseback chanting the word democracy. On Tuesday, black ads covered newspaper front pages as protesters vowed to continue to take to the streets.
I think it's a very dark day for the state of Israel, and I think the country that we know and love has changed for the worst, and I hope that this country will find a way back to a normal situation, which we have loved and known for 75 years.
Is of disappointment and broken heart. That's just, I can't believe I'm witnessing what I'm witnessing. I can't believe this is what it feels like to fight a dictatorship. I can't believe that in 2023, of all the people on the planet, it should be the Jewish, Israeli, Zionist people who make sure that there's never again a dictatorship.
Okay, I'm neither depressed nor devastated. I believe in us. I believe in the resistance. I believe in Israeli democracy. I believe in all the amazing people that were here the past days, fighting, living in solidarity, helping each other, creating this amazing unity of organizations. It's a grassroots resistance, and it will go on until we prevail.
Israeli doctors also embarked on a 24-hour strike in response to the judicial reforms.
I'm wearing this black shirt today because that's how we feel. We feel that the breach and the agreement between us professionals and the government was broken, and we cannot trust the government to take care of health. So we go out and we take care of health, and the physicians will go back to work. But I can say that thousands of them are not going to be silent, because there is a strong feeling, including myself, that we cannot work as physicians when Israel is no more a democratic state. So many Israelis, more than 1,000 physicians, now are starting to look for options for relocation for other countries. Others are planning to take an absence of leave or to get fired from their work. And others, like myself, are going to continue and to protest and to look how we find ways to change this very bad situation.
My message is that under authoritarian government, you cannot be, you cannot stand aside. You need to take a choice. You need to make your moral choice, and this should be the choice of every worried citizen and of every doctor in Israel.
The judicial vote has even drawn criticism from Israel's ally, the United States.
As a lifelong friend of Israel, President Biden has publicly and privately expressed his views that major changes in a democracy should be, if they're going to be enduring, must have as broad a consensus as possible. It was unfortunate that the vote today took place with the slimmest possible majority. We understand talks are ongoing and likely to continue over the coming weeks and months to forge a broader compromise, even with the Knesset in recess, and we will continue to support the efforts of President Herzog and other Israeli leaders as they seek to build a broader consensus through political dialogue.
In televised remarks, Prime Minister Netanyahu said the courts will remain independent, and he hopes to reach an agreement with the opposition on the judicial changes by the end of November. His words have failed to quell the anger in the streets as demonstrations continue.
That's the program today, but remember, our tough stories are never far away. You can catch them on channelstv.com. Thank you for watching. I'm Amarachi Ubani. Bye for now.